Hi everyone, it's Carolyn here with Cello Discovery, and I know how it is. You focus a lot on literature. You want to learn this piece or that piece, and what's happening is that you're focusing just too much on the literature and you're forgetting about the most fundamental thing about playing the cello, and that's getting that beautiful golden tone. And if this sounds familiar, then this lesson is for you. Let me tell you my 4 reasons why I believe that everybody should be practicing open strings every day, regardless of your abilities or your level. So to build your sound or your technique, you have to start from the ground up. You have to start from the very basics to get the sound that you want. And when you first start and you learn pizzicato, you just learn about plucking the strings, and then you move to open strings, and then eventually you get to left hand position, and then more advanced bow techniques, but we don't actually stop and thinking about those open strings that we first started with and why that's so important to get really comfortable playing open strings, because everything that you do is built on the sound that you make when you play an open string. So reason number 1 is that you should always be thinking about your tone in terms of consonants and vowels. Every single sound that you make on the cello starts with the k and it continues with an ah, so a ka, ka. So one of the things that you can do when you practice is simply start by initiating the sound. You can start with the D string, place the bow on the string, assuming all the angles and everything is correct. You want to draw little circles and see if you can just bite the string. You're going to bite and release the string. That's that consonant. And I recommend that you do this on each string, because the way that you grab the string and the way that you release the string feels a little bit different on every string. Of course, the C string being the biggest and it vibrates the slowest, there's a different sense of pull. There's a lot more elasticity in that string, so you have to get used to how that feels. So let's start with the A string. That's the hardest one to get a real clean consonant. And then the D, you hear that real pop, and then the G string, and then the C string, so do that at the frog, down bows, and then reverse the direction and do those up bow. It's a little harder. Real ping to the start of the note. Now after you've tried doing that, isolating that on every string, what you want to try to do is now connect the vowel sound. So you start with the ping and then you let the string play out in motion. You're looking for that really sticky start to the consonant and then continuing with the vowel sound. You want to make sure that you don't start from the top like an airplane landing. I always make that analogy, because if you do that, you're just going to get the mush and not a good sound. So make sure you land, pull the string, and release it on the string. Now when you go to do this on an up bow, you'll have to start thinking a little bit more about the power that you need to get into the upper half of the bow. So it comes a lot from the index finger, from the elbow, not the shoulder. Consonant and then the vowel. Now the second reason why you should be practicing open strings regularly is making the change between a down bow and an up bow and an up bow to a down bow. So part of this is trying to make the bow changes happen so that you don't change the speed of the bow. So if you're drawing the bow, not to change the speed in any way as you change the bow. It should be just a constant large oval that just is in constant motion when you change. So you can practice doing things like just a couple of bows at the frog. Of course, your wrist is going to have to play a role in this. in order to make it smooth. And then try it at the tip. So doing a lot of isolation with just the frog and the tip between down bow and up bow and up bow and down bow. Now the next reason why you should be practicing open bows all the time is because you have to learn how to do what I call the 15-mile-an-hour bow. And I like that analogy because if you think about a bow that has to move 15 miles an hour, that's pretty slow. Now, how often in our lives do we actually make this movement really slow like this and really steady, but it's still going and it's not stopping? This way or this way, we don't do that motion. We move quickly, our arms move to reach things. It's a faster motion. So learning how to do this motion very slowly really does take practice because it's not something that we incorporate typically into our everyday life. So what you do is you turn on your ears, really turn them on, and you start with a down bow, and you see if you can do that 15-mile-an-hour bow. So that's basically a slow bow stroke, and you're going to see if you don't make any wavers in sound, you don't give it gas anywhere or let up on the gas anywhere. You just continue to make that 15-mile-an-hour bow happen the whole time, the whole bow stroke. And then back. Now you could hear occasional bobbles in there, but what you're trying to avoid is the big shifts like this. So you want to make it as consistent as you can. So practicing the 15-mile-an-hour bow on each of the strings is really good. I recommend that you start by a mezzo forte, a medium loud volume, and then you try it really soft, trying to get a very good core to your sound even when it's soft, and then real forte, really pulling that sound out and staying very consistent with your sound. And the last reason why I feel like everybody should practice open strings is because it actually teaches you patience. I mean, it actually really does. We want to learn things so fast, and we're gobbling up material all the time, and we're not focused on this true like Zen-like experience when we play open strings. And it forces you to really listen. It forces you to be in complete control of your arms, your body, your mind. So this is something that we have to do if we're going to get good as a cellist, is really focus and be super present and very aware of what we're doing. It's a very tedious, slow exercise practicing open strings, and it does teach you patience. So when you get patience on something as simple as an open string, it's going to be easier when you jump into some more difficult stuff. You've learned how to focus a little bit better. And I hope that was helpful for you. Go practice open strings, and if you are a adult learning how to play the cello at any level, go ahead and check out cellodiscovery.com. We've got so much stuff over there for cellists. Just all kinds of pedagogy, lots of lessons, lots of interactive music. We have virtual cello choir. I mean, a beautiful community to share all of your frustrations and concerns and questions with. So come over and check out Cello Discovery and learn a lot about how to play the cello. And until then, I'll see you next time.